Good afternoon, everybody. We'll go ahead and call our meeting to order today. We're recorded, but we're not live streamed, but we'll still get it up on YouTube eventually. So it's our April 11th meeting of the Butler Board of Trustees. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Got a couple items on the agenda before to approve it. One, we need the neighborhood revitalization plan that we agreed to a month or two ago for the city of Augusta. They've asked us to re-execute it. There was a provision in the plan that called for both the city of Augusta and the county to duly administer it, and they found out that it doesn't work that way. So they have an amended agreement that's identical in all respects to what we agreed to before, except it just has the county administering it. So would entertain a motion to add that to the consent agenda. I would second. Okay.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 7-0. We also need to adjust the agenda to move our exec session, which was planned to be at the end, which will involve Ray Cannell, who's here. We're going to move that to the start of the meeting right after recognitions.
Yes.
So that Ray can get to a prior commitment this evening. So I guess if we want to lump it together. Well, let's do them separately. Do we have a motion to move that exec session?
I would move the executive session to following recognitions.
Second.
Trustee. Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Would also entertain a motion to amend the agenda to remove item 8D as in Delta. It was a general discussion on information requests that had been requested by one of our trustees, and I misunderstood the request. The intent was to make that a discussion item at our April work session, not to have it on the agenda for tonight. So we can, if everyone is agreeable to that, then we'll just we'll strike it tonight and take it up at the work session. We have a
I'll move.
motion in that regard.
I'll move.
And I'll second.
Thank you.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, any other proposed amendments to the agenda or to approve it?
I have a few. That's
Okay.
all right. Since it's changed, I guess I was gonna move to add a 30-minute executive session for trustees for personnel discussion. At the end, trustees only. I guess we could still do that at the end.
And what would be the,
purpose of.
Personnel discussion.
Are you moving that? I'll second.
I guess I've got I don't want to go into detail about the nature of the issues that ought to be
Right.
discussed in exec session, but who are the personnel that are to be discussed?
I don't think we don't even do that, do we?
I was just gonna discuss
can, 'cause it will-
the Rose Hill email shenanigans between Dr. Cole and Julie in executive session. It'd be more professional that way.
No, I agree. I would be happy to support that exec session, but if Dr. Kroll is present, I do not support it if we're going to do it without her presence.
I think we can do it without.
That's
or
your
we can
opinion.
have her join later on.
I do not support it if Dr. Kroll's not going to be present. I
Why
will
is that?
support it if they do.
I mean, there are times that we might need to talk amongst ourselves.
I'm not going to debate the issue with you. I've stated what my position is. Others can make their own decision. That's just mine.
I'm not gonna support it either.
Call for motion.
Trustee Good,
Wait, can
Oh, sorry.
we call what the mo is? So is the motion still
Just
limited
to add a
to?
30-minute executive session at the end of the meeting, trustees only.
Okay.
Personnel discussion.
my preference would be for the record that you read the appropriate motion that identifies all the things that have to be part of the executive session, if that's okay. You made the motion.
Mhm.
and
Can you,
I had Jennifer write
For
this out. so-
personnel.
okay,
I think Julia actually emailed a request for this a week ago or so.
yeah, it was after the agenda had already been.
Right,
That-
right.
That would
Published.
be, that would be the text of the motion.
Mr. Chair, I move the board but we're not recessing right now. This is what
That
you're
would
reading.
add it to the agenda based on that language.
Wait, we have a motion on the floor right now.
He's making it more formal, Dr. Kroll wants him
He's
to
just
make it.
using the right language to identify that it's for non-elected personnel. An executive session for non-elected personnel pursuant to open meetings.
Okay, I'll read it.
Stated.
Mr. Chair, I move the board recess into executive session at the end of the meeting. Well, I'm not moving into executive. I move that the board add an executive session at the end of the meeting pursuant to open meeting exemptions for matters of non-elected personnel, which if discussed in open meeting might violate their right to privacy. And that this just include trustees only. I assume it'd be 30 minutes or less.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
And I move to amend the motion to include Dr. Kroll after 15 minutes. Board only for the first 15, Dr. Kroll the second 15. That'd be something everybody could vote yes on.
That's a compromise.
I would second that.
I'd make that motion to amend amend the motion based on that.
Okay, so we have we have the motion to amend. On the table right now, which would be, so can we call,
Yeah, ready to vote.
is there support to? The
Let's
next
just
vote
call
would
it.
be, is there support to amend
Right.
the motion as Kim has suggested?
I seconded her.
Right, yes.
We needed it.
So this is the vote to amend the motion.
The vote to amend.
Yes.
To amend the amended. Okay, we could probably do this all day about 100 times.
Okay, trustee Good,
Voting
I
on,
think we're clear.
Is my,
Just
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
restate it just to make sure what you're voting on, because there's been confusion in the past.
Mhm.
Make sure people know what they're voting on. This is an amendment to the motion to amend the agenda, but this motion that you're voting on now would state that there would be an executive session at the end of the meeting for discussion of non-elected personnel that would include the board for 15 minutes, and then I would be brought in for 15 minutes.
Right.
That's what you're voting on.
My discussion on that is some trustees are gonna have problems with each other. That should probably not be discussed in front of you. It'd just be a more professional discussion behind closed doors.
Maybe the discussion ought to exclude one of our trustees in the second 15 minutes.
I would second that.
That's not the motion.
That's
So
exactly
that's
right.
discussion.
We have two people involved in this.
I don't know as you can do that.
I don't think you
You
can.
can't.
You know what,
Yeah.
if it's. Why don't we just talk about it in open session then? Let's just do that. Let's just add it to the agenda and we'll talk about it in open session and I can say everything that's said. I can provide a recording or whatever we need and we can move on from there. I think I agree with Shelby that it should be an executive session or maybe it would be more comfortable in executive session, but you want to bring it to open meeting, that's fine.
It is, if we're talking about non-elected personnel, it is not an appropriate discussion item to have in open meeting. If we're talking about trustee behavior, it is not an appropriate topic to be had in executive session. So we have,
Well, this is behavior that stemmed from Dr. Kroll and then another.
Well,
email
I'd
that
say-
Followed up.
I suspect that when Dr. Kroll has a chance to speak, it will not, the description will be different depending on which of the two people involved in that discussion is presenting what happened.
I understand. I would just like to have that discussion in private.
Call the
Okay,
vote.
we have a motion to amend on the floor, not to amend the agenda yet, but to amend the motion to amend the agenda. So let's go ahead and call that.
trustee Good,
No,
trustee Brungart,
yes.
trustee Jolly,
No,
trustee Rhodes,
Yes,
trustee Winslow,
Okay, now I'm confused. You voted
You
no.
can agree with Forrest, okay, every once in a while.
Yes, that's why it's throwing you off. We agreed. I'd say roll with it.
Well,
You would vote yes if that's what you're wanting to do, Julie.
okay, fine. I'll vote yes.
trustee Shearer,
No.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Okay, that passes 4-3, and that is why we explain motions to amend.
Right.
Because they are very easy to be confused as to
Oh,
what's
sure.
on the floor.
I,
Now you
Okay.
need to follow up with the motion to.
Add that
amend
to the end of the
ag-
meeting,
to
as
actually-
amended.
Yes.
Can we read that
Well,
again?
hang
You
on.
need to finish the steps before you.
Right, before we move on.
Yes. So the motion on the floor now would be the amended motion to amend the agenda to add the executive session as it's been amended.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
no, it does not. So I want to make a motion. But I wanted to make sure that Julie is not in the room too.
I think you already have to, I think you can amend. it
Hold on,
prior.
wait, Mary Martha, go ahead and finish what you're,
To amend the motion that I would like Julie removed too, along with Dr. Kroll for the first 15 minutes. And then both brought back in.
do we have a second to that motion to amend?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. So we're now amending the amended motion. This is gonna.
Okay.
need notes. Okay, any discussion on what Mary Martha's asking to amend?
I would ask council if that's legal to exclude a
Trustee,
trustee from the. Just by majority can exclude the minority member, just.
I think if the majority of the board votes that you need to pass it for 15 minutes and back in the meeting. for 15 minutes.
are you sure? Are you sure?
What, this is not a debate between.
No, I'm just asking, has this ever happened before?
Not that I've seen.
Mhm. So you know,
That's my 46 years of common sense. Trying to respond to Shelby's question.
well, we check it.
And any other discussion? Okay, let's call that question.
trustee Good,
Yes,
trustee Brungart,
Yes,
trustee Jolly,
Yes,
trustee Rhodes.
Yes,
Trustee Winslow,
I'm just gonna let you guys decide.
well, you need to either answer or say abstain.
Abstain, doesn't that count as a no vote anyway?
no, it does not.
Oh, it doesn't count as any vote.
It's recognized as a no vote, but it's not counted.
Is that how you want your vote to be
Yeah, I'm
recorded?
just gonna abstain.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
I'm gonna say no, but it doesn't sound right to me.
Okay, well, that motion to amend passes 5-1-1, 5-1 with one abstention.
so the final thing is it will be 15 minutes with everyone excluding Dr. Kroll and Julie, and then they come in, everybody continues the discussion.
That's correct. So that would be the pending motion now is to amend the agenda to add the exec session as it has been redefined twice.
I would so move.
We don't have to,
We don't
move
have
it.
to
If we're done, yeah,
Yeah.
we can go ahead and call that question.
trustee Good,
Yes,
trustee Brungart,
Yes,
trustee Jolly,
yes,
trustee Rhodes.
Yes,
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes,
okay. That passes 7.
Now, one more thing.
Do we have any, Shelby, do you have any other
I had
amendments?
2 more little items. I'd like, well, 3, I guess, from the consent agenda. I moved to pull the minutes to the board action items. I just had a clarification in there.
So
But
move.
I moved to pull the consent agenda, or move the consent agenda from. Move the minutes from the consent agenda to board action items.
may I ask why?
Yeah, there was a they miswrote a sentence wrong and misrepresents how it doesn't read right later. And if you look back 6 months from now, it'd be like, oh, they did that. And it's like, well, it's missing one word, but that's all I had on it.
Do you have any other amendments to the consent agenda?
Yeah, I would also like to move C2 and C3 board action items, just to pull them so I can vote on them, which are the CE shop training and the upright training provider. Those are page 91, 96.
I think we can group those 3
That's fine with
items
me, yeah.
together. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
So that would move those that would create essentially board action items C, D, and E. Yeah. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none.
trustee Good,
Yes,
trustee Brungart,
yes,
trustee Jolly,
yes,
trustee Rhodes.
Yes,
Trustee Winslow,
Yes,
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
okay. Any other amendments to the agenda? Julie, did you have?
No, I got one, but he beat me to it.
Okay,
I wanted to pull the minutes.
okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as it's been amended.
I so moved.
Second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes. Okay, thanks, everybody. That passes 7-0. Let us move then into recognitions. Dr. Kroll.
Thanks. I'm gonna sit here by my microphone so we can get this on recording. The FBLA State Leadership Conference was March 4th. We had 10 students that attended. 72nd Annual Conference at Pitt State University, and we had a lot of students that were very successful and that placed at a level that they get to go to the national competition in Atlanta in June, toward the end of June. These students with our FBLA chapter competed against 4-year and 2-year schools, and 9 of the 10 students placed in their event. So they get to go on to nationals. So we want to recognize them, but I also want to say to you, Janice Cow is here and Dr. Noreen Templin. They're great advisors for these students and great leaders and mentors for them. And I know that they have a good time working with these students. And so thank you to you folks for your leadership with them. So, yeah. So I can sit by the microphone. I'm going to sit here and read these accomplishments, but why don't you stand so the board can see who you are when I call your name? Caleb Harp. Caleb's been here before. We've recognized Caleb. He placed 3rd in client service. He placed 1st in business communication, placed 1st in hospitality management case competition, and placed 1st in information management. So congratulations, Caleb. Great job. I'll hand these all to you here in just a second, okay? Matthew Schultz placed 1st in business ethics. And we're proud of you, Matthew. He also is my gaming coach. I just want everybody to know that he worked hard to try and show me the ropes just a little bit. So thank you, Matthew. Congratulations. Emery Nickel had a 1st place team finish in marketing analysis and decision making. So congratulations, Emery. Emery, right? Am I saying that the right way? Good job. Congratulations. Chloe, how do you say her last name? He? Is that right? Okay. Chloe He placed 2nd in social media marketing, 1st place team finish in marketing analysis and decision making. So we're proud of Chloe and her accomplishments. So congratulations to her. Lindsay Conley had a 1st place team finish in marketing analysis and decision making. Congratulations, Lindsay. Good job. Thara Casimir had a 1st place finish in digital media, a 1st place finish in social media marketing. Congratulations. Victoria Worm had a 3rd place finish in foundations of accounting, a 1st place finish in emerging business issues, a 2nd place finish in business communication, a 1st place finish in future business executive. So congratulations to Victoria. Alexa McLeod had a 2nd place team finish in community service project, a 2nd place team finish in business law, a 2nd place finish in sales presentation. So congratulations to Alexa. And Mason Kane had a 2nd place finish, a 2nd place finish team in business law. So congratulations. And again, great job. We're excited for you to go to nationals. I know you'll represent Butler really well. And thank you, Janice and Lori, for your hard work. I'm gonna let you pass that. Congratulations, you guys. Well, it's a great opportunity and we know it is impactful because you not only are, doing this kind of competition, but these are things that you can apply in the classroom and apply in your jobs as well. So great job.
Thank you, guys.
Good job. Thank you. Also want to recognize Dr. Jonathan Craig. Yeah,
Very sad to stay.
yes, yes.
Absolutely.
So he just completed his doctoral degree in adult learning and leadership focused on community colleges. Congratulations, John.
Yeah.
You stay safe, right? You stay safe. Good job. Yeah, he's anxious to watch movies and read novels now. And not have to study. And then we also want to recognize trustee Jolly. Your birthday was Sunday, right? Sunday, yeah.
Yep, happy birthday.
Trying
Yeah,
to forget
happy
about
birthday.
that. My first Easter birthday.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Happy birthday. Okay,
That's neat.
that's what I have.
I know.
Great, thank you, Dr. Kroll.
Uh-huh.
We will now move into our, the first, I guess, of our two exec sessions. Would entertain a motion to move into that. The language for that motion, if it would be helpful, is on page 153 of the board book.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board recess into executive session for consultation with legal counsel for the board, which would be deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship pursuant to the open meetings exception for matters protected by consultation with legal counsel, and to include the board, President Kim Kroll, Ray Cannell, and Shelley Stoltz. And the open meeting will resume here in the Dankert trustee room within 30 minutes.
Second.
Okay, let's call that vote.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes, okay, thank you. That passes 7-0. We will move into exec session. As we've done in the past, I'll note the actual times in and out for the record when we get moved in electronically as well as physically.
Congratulations.
Yep. Okay.
So he had showed it again.
We get rabbits, they get.
I know. So what terrible thing was there.
Did you see any moose?
Yeah, we had one in the backyard of our guest house.
Really?
Yeah, one morning. Just
Are we
like
ready?
so.
Okay, everybody, we are back on the record, or back out of open session in open session. Just for the record, we went in at 5:07, came out at 5:20. So we will move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. Do we have anyone signed up for comments? Anyone here? Seeing none. Okay, we will move on to standing reports and we'll start with student government.
Hello, I'm Lillian Rippey. This month, or this past month, we have held movie night at Central Cinema 6. It was originally supposed to be our football field movie night. We were going to try that again. But due to, again, unforeseen difficulties, we came up with a plan B and we provided movie ticket vouchers for all students, and anyone who showed up at Central Cinema 6 that night got a free movie stub and they were able to see whatever movie they wanted.
What was your turnout for that?
Oh, we had over 70 students at that. So, and that's more than we got the last time we did a Central Cinema 6 movie night. So we have a great turnout at those. So that's all we have done in the past month. Upcoming though, actually this Friday, we have our casino night, which if any of you remember, we did that last year. It was a great hit. We have shirts for the students. They come and gamble. They get to play games, stuff like that. We are going to do that again this Friday. And this year we will be using Gambinos to do our catering. So students will come, they'll get a shirt, they'll get food, have a lot of fun playing. For Grizzly Give Back Day, we are doing that Monday, May 1st at 1:30. For that, this year we will be cleaning up both the stadium and the campus. So we will, in theory, split up into two groups depending on how many show up, and pick up both the stadium and the campus at the same time. If not, we'll do one then the other. And then we are trying to do a kickball match against staff/faculty versus students. So for that, right now we have flyers up all over campus, and we have two separate forms, one for staff and faculty and one for students. And anyone who wants to join that, scan the form, put in your name, and we will figure out teams closer to that date. That date is May 2nd at 3:00, and it will be at the practice field. And then finally, we will have, well, almost finally, we will have our almost summer block party, which we will do May 4th, and that will be by the sand volleyball pit. And we're hoping to have food trucks, outdoor games, just something fun for the students at the end of the year. And we will actually also be doing stress relief goodie bags for all the students that will be handed out at the late night breakfast. I think it's the Monday of finals week. Any questions?
Sounds like fun.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move on to operational staff. Hi, Lisa.
All right, good evening. We had 50 ops staffers from around the state attend our annual Association of Kansas Community College Office Professionals Conference here at Butler last month. We attended multiple breakout sessions that covered topics like cybersecurity, diversity awareness, assault prevention training, and we ended the day with a Roaring 20s themed networking banquet. Everyone who attended had a wonderful time. We also held our annual silent auction gift basket auction this past Thursday during Institutional Development Day. We've spent the last few weeks gathering donations, creating baskets, and prepping for what ended up to be a great event. We hosted a friendly competition between departments, and the financial aid office was the overall winners this year. Sorry, Bill. In total, we raised over $1,750 and exceeded the amount we raised last year.
Wonderful.
Our next operational staff meeting is this Thursday, April 13th on the Andover campus. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Dr. Sater, professional employees.
This is last.
You weren't here?
I totally get it. Totally get it. Noreen, you can. According to the master agreement, the professional employees had the right to evaluate administrators. You may recall that last spring, after years of no such opportunity, the administration attempted to provide such evaluations, but due to concerns over privacy and security, there was little participation. Subsequently, by an overwhelming vote of the membership, the association leadership was tasked with providing an evaluation that met the above concerns and requirements. So an evaluation task force was appointed. Task force is composed of faculty whose professional studies require creation and administration of such surveys. The task force has completed and reported back the evaluation. This time, more than 40% of professional employees participated. I'm told this is an extraordinarily high participation rate. As required by the contract, we are providing the board and the president with the results of that evaluation. On another topic, on May 1st, negotiations begin for the 23-24 master agreement. In anticipation of those meetings, we hope that you will attend or at least view the recorded videos of those meetings. It is important that you know firsthand the discussions and reasoning on both sides of the noticed up issues. Eventually, you'll be asked to approve a recommended contract, and the better you understand the dynamics that created those recommendations, the better you can trust them. Please give your negotiators full authority to bargain on your behalf. In the past, your negotiators have demurred to consult with you before proceeding with an issue or a proposal. This is not only disruptive to the process, but also constitutes a prohibited practice. Finally, give your negotiators permission to reveal your reasoning behind your positions. When asked for the reasons behind certain proposals, your negotiators have sometimes stated that they are not allowed to discuss your justifications or concerns. When we're not told why you held views expressed by your negotiators, we are left to surmise your reasoning as best we can, sometimes leading to the situation that so exercised Trustee Rhodes last year. We look forward to negotiating a contract that reflects both the goals of the board and those of the professional employees. We trust that our negotiations will reflect what is best for the college, our students, and the professional employees. Thank you.
Question. You
Yes.
have a letter that you guys have turned in. I know that you've got one from administration. You have another letter that I think you call it a notice up letter.
The notice up letter goes to President Kroll through Shelley Stoltz. And
Okay, so they have turned in one since you guys gave us yours. We're gonna get a copy of that. Not gonna happen.
Typically, you are through the notice up for the administration or what our negotiating topics are. And I mean, I don't know why.
Well, I don't know that we need to approve it. I just would like to see if it's different is all.
Thank you.
So,
I have been, you know.
oh, okay, good.
Board Finance Committee, Mary Martha or Linda?
Well, I'll go ahead with it if that's okay, Ms. Jolly. All right. Well, we met at 3:30. We talked about the expenditures. There were no really variances with it. So I would like to make a motion to approve the bills and warrants for March 2023 for $3,907,224.04.
I think it's already in the consent agenda. Mary
Oh,
Martha.
good.
We didn't have the detail, but it's in the
Perfect.
consent agenda.
Details.
We won't second you, Mary.
Darn it. Looks good, guys.
Okay, thank you all. Foundation Board, I don't believe we have anything to report. Okay. President's report, Dr. Kroll.
Thanks. Preparing for HLC visit. They'll be here. They'll fly in Sunday and be on campus starting Monday morning, very first thing. They have bumped back because of the schedule. They bumped back the meeting with you folks to 4:30 on Monday, 4:30 to 5:30. And I indicated to the site chair that I thought that probably would work because that's the regular meeting time anyway. You'll be meeting downstairs. This is their home base for the time that they're here. So we'll be meeting downstairs on the lower level. And I will email you the room number. It's one of the rooms downstairs in the hallway. So you're invited to that. You'll visit with the entire site team. And then you also are able to come to the exit meeting. The exit report will just be a short meeting on Tuesday. I think it's scheduled for noon. It'll be in the Clifford Stone Room, and they'll just basically say, thank you for your hospitality. We're glad we were here. They may give us a little bit of a list of the great things that we're doing, the things that they saw, but it doesn't sound like they will give us any insight into concerns that they have. They kind of have walked away from doing that at this point in time, but they may identify a couple of the things that, that they thought were really outstanding. The schedule's not final quite yet. We've submitted, a lot of the sessions are very specifically invited groups of people that they want to talk to. We've submitted the names of the employees and their titles to the site team chair, or we're getting ready to send that, I think, this afternoon when we get finished up. And once she receives those, then they'll go ahead and finalize the schedule and stuff. But there's really a lot of focus meetings with groups that are anywhere from 25 people to fewer people. There's there's 3 open forums that are all employee invitees can come to those to talk specifically about criterion 1 and 2, criterion 3 and 4, criterion 5. But unless it's a meeting that's very specifically that administrators are invited to, myself, the vice presidents, the associate vice presidents, the board are not allowed in any of those sessions because they want employees to be able to speak freely and, provide answers to questions and be part of the discussion. So I will watch for a calendar invite for the meeting on Monday at from 4:30 to 5:30. And then I'll also send you the actual time for the exit meeting in the Clifford Stone Room and verify that for you too. So we're there. Showtime. Yeah. Yeah. Site team that has 5 members. They will really split up while they're here. There's a few sessions where all of the site team members will be in the meeting together, but a lot of them will split up depending on their areas that they're supposed to oversee and, look at and evaluate. So pretty busy schedule for Monday all day long and part of Tuesday. They will stay in town actually until Wednesday because they write and they work on their report together. And then they also have, if they need to on Tuesday, to go back and talk to some people individually or get in touch with people if they need clarification on any information. So PTK luncheon is this Friday in Junction City. And then there's a short KACCT meeting after that. I think Linda's going to go. The luncheon is really nice. We'll recognize our All Kansas scholars, and the other community colleges will have their scholars there. And so it's a nice luncheon.
Who are our scholars?
Well, they were here at the last meeting.
The last meeting.
Yes, they were here in attendance. And so,
But we have 3 or.
well, we have 5 actually. We can choose 2 from each campus, from El Dorado, and the way we do it is 2 from the El Dorado campus, 2 from either Andover or online, because we have some online students. And then in the last probably 2 years or 3 years now, PTK has allowed each chapter to choose, or each college to choose to students in career and technical pathways that aren't transferring on to institutions. And through that application process, they have to identify their degree pathway. And so Barbara Johnson is our CTE recipient this year. We typically have more transfer students that apply for those PTK opportunities than the CTE students. And so we have 5 students this year, and the college has historically given those students, well, actually, I think it's the state association that sets it, but those students get a $300 stipend that gets applied to their bill, their tuition and fee bill. And if it's already paid off, then they get that funding to take with them. So yeah, so it's exciting. And then, just a little bit of a follow-up on the faculty survey that was handed out. You know, I think it's important for you to know that that survey has always come from HR, really. I mean, you're the one that has distributed it in the past. You know, there were concerns last year because faculty felt like that there was concern that people would be able to identify who was filling out the survey and who was answering it. And that, you know, that all happens through IR, and Jenna Gannon was the one that, you know, put together that Qualtrics survey. So nobody has access to that information, but you know, so I think it's important for you to know that the survey results that are in front of you, the faculty decided on, and they decided on the questions and the points of evaluation. We haven't seen it at all, so we don't know what's comprised the evaluation or what we're being evaluated on. So you know.
I have a question. Is this all the comments that were made that are here or just a portion?
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Educational facilities, Mary Martha or Dave, anything to report?
I think they're planning a meeting this summer.
They're meeting kind of just quarterly now.
Yeah, just
Okay. I think that's it for sending reports. We will move on to the monitoring report for Dr. Norman.
Oops, sorry, I'm hanging out there.
Good evening. Currently serving as interim for the county's official plan. Lucky to work along with my colleague, newly minted Dr. Dankert. I know you've all had an opportunity to really. So I asked you.
Oh, no, you're not getting off that easy.
Yeah.
That was very good.
On page 6, it said, I didn't check everyone. It said you have 172 personnel. You have more than that. That's just for that one area on page 6.
That's
For the, okay. What were the total credit hours of that division?
I don't know that I have total hours.
I was doing some math and it just didn't add up to me on this.
I can tell you that for the institute, probably about 30% of the total.
Yeah, that's okay.
Any other questions?
I had one for Terry. What's your historicity of Jesus? Is that just like Jesus in history as a person, like Josephus and stuff like that, where it's historical documents?
We're doing some work, studying, philosophy and history material, and historical material.
I had to look up the word. I'm like, what's historicity? I'm like, oh, okay. I think those are only 2 I had.
How do we take care of our adjuncts? How do you take care of the adjuncts that in your department?
In what capacity?
Well, just to make sure that they're,
Take care of, yeah.
just to make sure that they're doing good. I remember when I taught as an adjunct, I only got evaluated once. But I don't know whether, are we checking in on them every so often, or do we look at their syllabi and?
Yes, yeah. Still buyer check every semester.
Yeah.
There's no need. Their most of the responsibility is the discrepancy is going to be a big work with the chair and the lead. So they get us involved with that, which was a good curriculum. I know as people who schedule that Don and I do our best to try and get everything as much work as possible. It's a challenge because so many of our adjuncts work two, sometimes the other. Trying to match schedules with class time and days, et cetera. Those are going to be the challenge.
Oh, I bet.
But we do our best to try and accommodate them all.
Great.
I did have one more, sorry, highlight.
Sure.
You said there was 11 program clusters being evaluated currently. Are we going to see the results of that sometime in the future, a couple months from now, or?
Program evaluation.
Let's say 11 program clusters are currently engaged in. I'm not sure. Page 17 near the top.
Yeah, that's new.
Right, yeah, that gets published in September.
Okay.
Right around Labor Day.
Okay.
Triangulate to align the program with the flood zone process.
Okay. And I did mention last month, I'd still like to see how construction's doing at Andover. Because I haven't seen a review of it since we started it, of an evaluation of. So sometime in the next couple months, if we could, just more for you, I guess. All right.
Any other questions for Mary Martha?
Just one more. When you have a ill faculty member, do you guys have a pool of subs like they do at the school system?
We do, in fact, my administrative assistant, Amy, put together one where prior to the semester, along with the teaching request, she sent out a request to see if there are large adjuncts who are interested in subbing. And we do a pretty good job of not ever having to cancel a class.
That's good.
Somebody in there who is also specific in that particular discipline. Still have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
I
Dr.
want to
Crawley.
put one plug in. I hope you pay attention, close attention to the open educational resources information. Since 2018, and this is all faculty driven. Since 2018, we've saved our students more than $2.2 million in textbook costs. I think it's important for you to know that I think this probably outshines just about any other institution in the state of Kansas. Certainly the universities are nowhere close to this at all. And so I just want to say kudos to the faculty, especially in, English, and English is where it really kind of all started. There are a number of other faculty in areas now that are working on OERs, but this is significant. And it's again, something that sets Butler apart when it comes to the outstanding quality of work that our faculty do and access to resources. And what's really cool about it is that these open educational resources, or if faculty are using published ebooks or something like that, those are loaded right into their course shell. So they're there the very first day that they get into class. They don't have to wait until they get their financial aid to go to the bookstore, or you don't have students necessarily not buying books because they don't have the money to do it or they don't want to. So this is a huge thing for our students. And so congratulations to your division and all the faculty.
Well, thank you. That 2.8 million is
2.8
for English classes.
Yeah.
As well as for English classes.
Yeah.
Now, what's not important? So the pilot PS 160 is only a folio. And in fall, that goes live. So every jet site class in the fall, we are.
Yeah.
Given what we know from the enrollment for last fall, which was 1,049 students, their cost for texts online service around 68,000. We will save them nearly well over 56,000 just in the fall if enrollment is exciting. So we're not using our Copeland model with this, which is typically $100 per textbook. That would be even more. But we look for that savings. That's just in Gen Psych. And by spring, all of our Spanish courses, which all of us are also on. I think we'll start. That's what we Russian. There's some other departments that are. We're very happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll move into our discussion items, starting off with the quarterly core report, which is on page 28 of your board book.
I don't know that we need to discuss anything. It's just.
Oh, it's
we're
just
trying-
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just trying to make sure it's there on a quarterly basis.
Okay,
Well,
Unless
there is
somebody has
one thing I'd
questions.
like to discuss, if you don't mind.
is it about the quarterly core report?
Yes.
Then what would that be?
I would really appreciate it if you guys would recall the last couple of times we've had the cover tours published. I asked for my emails that to accompany the request form so that there would be no errors in transposing that my request was. That's all. So I guess I'll just keep asking. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, then it'll be Ken's decision. I guess.
Is there something inaccurate about what's
Those-
on here?
Those core reports go to Kent's office and they're the ones that keep the log on this. So we
I
can-
understand that. I still asked you to please provide the emails that I sent.
Is there something inaccurate about the summary that we have in front of us?
That's all I'm gonna say.
So there's not anything
I'm
inaccurate
not
about
gonna
it.
say that either. I'm just gonna ask that we include those. Or I guess I could save up any that I contributed to and bring them to the meeting when we have this on the agenda.
Well, I'm just asking what are we gaining by having the emails if there's nothing wrong with the summaries?
In the past, they haven't been right. The past, they've been translated differently.
Emails?
I think Julie's asked before to have, if we're discussing her core requests, just to attach them in the book. And then we all know what they were exactly, precisely.
So
rather
then
know-
Instead of a summary.
are we gonna get reports from your core reports?
You'll still get this quarterly report. Kent and
Because
I
I-
can talk about this. Maybe what we'll do is Meredith can just copy and paste the exact email into the spreadsheet that she uses that generates this report. And then, can provide maybe a shortened or more concise summary line. We can figure that out.
Well,
But-
there's two reasons for
but-
that. It isn't to trouble the college more as much as it is. Sometimes when I say things, there are people that don't understand the English that I use. I don't understand that. It's probably just the way I say it. But that way the board can say to me, hey, you know what? I didn't understand that. I didn't take it as that. I took it as something different.
Well, my question is on the core reports that you're requesting, are we gonna get reports from you on the core reports?
Exactly. What benefit are these core reports doing for you, Julie? Because we don't understand why you need all this info and then you don't share what the positive outcome or negative outcome was.
Well, don't you always share what information you give me? You
According
share
to
all-
this-
Yeah.
Yes.
all the
We
trustees.
get
But
everything.
why? Do you want all this?
We haven't ever heard your reasoning and the outcomes that you want from these core reports. That's what we're asking.
My
for.
background is not education.
I don't care if it's business.
That's
I
what-
want to know
It's
if
cost
you're,
accounting.
if you're asking for information, we're asking for information back.
Mhm.
Put it together, give us a report. Linda's done reports, Kim's done reports. Shelby's probably done reports. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, well,
To clarify, I think Mary asked for these to be done every month.
I
And we
did.
backed it off every quarter. So
I
this,
did.
this here in the book is about a request of Mary Martha Good to have a list of all this. So we can discuss the amount of core requests ongoing once a quarter. And Julie's just asking that if we're gonna discuss them, toss them in here. That way they're here to look at if we want to look at.
You know, I agree, but I still think we need to know the benefit that of the information that you
what
receive.
you measure may not be what I measure. Maybe you don't think that.
But you don't share anything.
But
with
you don't
us.
share anything with us, so we
We
don't have
don't
any way of
share
measuring.
Hang on, one at a time, please.
We've had private conversations or conversations here when you asked me why I wanted something I've shared with you and you're like, well, Why do you need that? Well, why do you need that? Well, I look at things totally different than you do. I
Well-
look for things that are in the strategic plan. I look at a technology plan. I look at an accounting cost. I look at overages. I look at underages. I mean, I don't see things in the same realm that you do. I see things as a cost accountant, business type, and you see things more as an academic, someone that hasn't been in. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but someone that doesn't maybe have the accounting experience that I do, so. I mean, I just dread asking for the next Cora that I have in mind.
Well, I hope that maybe sometime that we might start charging you for all the hours.
I know, Mary Martha, but I can be snarly, but I won't.
But here's
So-
the thing that gets me is you're talking about saving money, yet you're spending money of the executive's time.
What are you
In-
talking about? Saving money? What are you talking about?
Every time Kent has to do a report
Okay,
or
give me
Dr.
an
Kroll has to do a
example. Give me an
report or
example.
anybody.
I-
Oh, wait, Julie, wait.
No, really,
What-
give me an
Julie,
example.
Julie,
I
one at a
can't
time.
think of a
one at time.
specific example, but when you're taking away time of, and I'll just, because I see Bill, of Bill's department doing something because you ask a quarter report, he cannot do his job that he's paid to do because he's doing something specifically for only one trustee. That's costing us money.
It's not my fault.
It's costing us money.
If
It's
you-
costing
Wait,
taxpayers
Now,
money.
okay, I'm
let her
gonna
finish.
defend myself here, okay? I see problems. That's why I asked for these things. I cannot understand, for instance, it's beyond me to understand. I'm struggling to put this non-offensively. It's beyond me to understand how on earth we could not have some kind of inventory already in existence, for instance, for the construction building. I mean, there should be some kind of vehicle the college has to deliver material from one site to another. There should be something. In public schools, for instance, everything is kept by site. So the primary school has teacher totals, they have parent totals, they have totals of laptops, totals of other equipment, totals of cubicles. All of these things are that site location. So I didn't understand why we don't have that by site until Bill said that we don't have that and that we require a lot of time to get information to us that said, okay, I'm replacing these laptops at these different sites. And my experience tells me that should already be in existence, but I don't expect a lot of agreement here.
I would suggest that we move on.
That's good.
think
I
we're a little afield of the topic, and we also have this was, I think, part of what the intended discussion item was at the work session, talking about the broader issues of the information request. So I think we just, let's move on to the next discussion item, which is, Bill, our renewal and vision software. That's on page 30 of the board book.
May I say one thing before Bill begins?
Of course.
I would like to have the quarterly core report become a monthly one. If at all possible. I know it depends on the amount of cores you get in, but
I would not like that because we did it before and it takes up monthly talking about it again every month, but.
The board originally decided that a quarterly report was what they wanted. We can do a monthly report. We'll just.
What's the purpose of a monthly? Let me do what you do. Why do you need
If
that?
we-
Mary?
if we want-
Whoa, stop.
Yeah.
The disrespect stops.
Being disrespectful.
You absolutely
I'm
were.
parroting
You
person for me.
absolutely
Hey,
were.
what do you think this is? Is this respectful?
Mr. Chair. Let's
It's
see
insincere.
what the board's consensus is. If they want to see this every month, let's say, show of hands. But I think it's busy work to do it every month. We would only have 3 emails in February to look at, 1 in March to look at.
they're getting fewer and fewer, which I agree.
I'm comfortable with quarterly, how we're doing it.
I'd still like monthly, just to keep track of what's going on. Who's asking for what?
Does anybody have a strong opinion? I'm indifferent. I don't mind monthly as long as we're not going to spend 15 minutes every meeting
month.
talking like we are right now. And I don't,
Not productive.
the discussion tonight was on the more broader issue than it was on any particular core items. So
I think
For-
quarterly is sufficient.
here's the consensus would be to stick with quarterly then.
Is that the consensus? I've heard from Shelby, Mary Martha, and Kim.
I thought it was
Okay,
only
then
three.
I'm sorry, Dave. Quarterly,
I mean, are there instances where some outside source makes a core request that we should be informed about sooner?
I mean, if
I mean,
it's of
if it's
critical
something
importance,
important, I'm
we
sure we'll
can.
hear about it.
Quarterly,
Is it, Martha, are you okay with the idea of quarterly, but with the
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
caveat that if something comes in a month
Sure.
that's important?
sure.
And if it's too much trouble to build them into the spreadsheet,
Yeah,
I
you
think we
just-
just still do the spreadsheet and
We'll just
add a few more pages.
fit it into the spreadsheet. It just fits in the cell. We'll just copy and paste whatever the email is and at night talk about it.
Okay, so now we move into the renewal and vision software discussion. Bill?
So this is in front of you for discussion this month, and then we would likely bring it back for an action item next month. But eVision Software is the parent company of three specific pieces of software that we use. Argos is a daily reporting within Banner, piece of software. It's IntelliCheck, and then Form Fusion. So all of these are just business applications, business process and reporting applications, utility for formatting checks, customization of output for Banner processes, and then enterprise reporting. So I just wanted this in front of you this week. We have in the past signed 5-year agreements, and so we put the pricing down. Amy was our procurement manager, was able to negotiate pretty aggressive escalators. So we were able to actually lock this in for the next 5 years at these prices. I would stand for any questions that you have. I just wanted you all to be aware, because when we bring this back, it'll be a $260,000 commitment over 5 years. So we look at this.
Do we, go ahead, the floor for a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hate to see them go over a 3-year term. Do you have a chart that shows what would happen if we didn't do anything but a 3-year, how that would affect the overall cost or
Yeah, I mean, so I can,
yearly cost? I mean, I understand being frugal. Believe me. So if they're gonna add 20,000 per year to only have 3 years instead of a 5-year, but normally it's software contracts, otherwise dealt with for only 3 years. And I know there's options, right? It's a 3-year plus the ability to add 2 more. Did I read that right or wrong?
sure, what we've done, yes, I mean, yes, in this one, that's the case. What we've done is priced it out at the 5 years because we could negotiate the escalators at that point.
But it's really only a 3-year and then we add another year
Well,
or
it's
2. We have the option to add that. Right?
3 plus 2, right?
But the escalators will go up if you do.
If we don't add, if we don't do,
Don't do the 5-year agreement, the escalators go up.
the escalators will change in between, right? These escalators are locked in on an overall 5-year commitment. We can go back and bring in a 3-year commitment and look at what those escalators are. I mean, it's software that unless we move away from Banner, which is not
Happen.
likely, then it's software that is not going to change for us. We need IntelliCheck, we need Argos. And so, I mean, these are pieces that will remain in place. They're the industry standard, Form Fusion and IntelliCheck are industry standard add-ons to Banner from a third-party company.
Any other questions? Oh, yes, Linda.
So, this is coming from your regular budget. correct?
Yeah, this is budgeted within our,
And you know, it's talking about plus, something just a little less than this.
just something a little less than this. I mean, we move these down from 15% escalators to where they're at now. So in this negotiation, so.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Bill. Next topic up, a follow-up on the computer replacement, information request that came in at the work session last month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think, hold on, before you start, Bill, I mean, I assume that you. When I got the email from Kim, I assumed you were not gonna do the inventory, and so I came to the meeting tonight to say. If you could just tell us, if we could have a receipt, everything. With the purchase for the replacement, and then a receipt, a detailed receipt of where everything went that went out the door. The surplus
sure.
and where it went, and that would be non-encumbering on your part.
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely. My team, after the last meeting, decided to, so when Dr. Kroll asked after the meeting, we talked about the inventory piece and I advised her that this would be, pretty time consuming because we do a physical inventory in the summer. These are all, everything that we're dealing with here, we have a full inventory of all of our equipment. When in your question, Julie, you asked where it's located. And so these are all laptops that sit in counts. And so when we try to narrow this down, is it sitting in room 15-126? Today, it might be in 15-226 tomorrow. And so that's why right before we do the replacement, and after school's out for the spring and everything is sitting where it's going to sit
Yeah, that's
theoretically
fine.
for the summer,
And when you do.
that's when we go and do the final physical inventory.
Believe it or not, I wasn't trying to.
I'm sorry, just my team went ahead and accomplished this just because that's what we do. Yet we jump out and do this. It took them about 30 hours we've got multiple databases because things sit in different areas for an inventory. So I think it was 27 hours of work for 4 or 5 of the guys on one of my employees' teams. But this is a listing of the 783. There's actually 784, but we have one of the computers, the new ones in stock. So these are the 784 that'll be replaced as soon as school gets out. So yeah, 5 employees, 27 hours about. So
See, I understood from the email, you would not do that. That was until further notice. And so I would have appreciated you not doing it, because this makes me look like I'm trying to give you guys busy work. When it would have been just as good if you would have just given me the details of what you were purchasing and where it was going, and then the ones that were going out the door.
But that isn't what you asked for, to be fair. That isn't what you asked
Well,
for.
I
at the work
didn't
session.
think, I just assumed from my own experience that this was readily available. Wrong assumption on my part. That's why I got, when I. got
I'm sorry.
was
I don't
trying
want
to
there to
jot
be
it
a
down.
misconception that we don't have an inventory of our computers. Okay, our computers are fully inventoried. We use 3 different systems. We use SCCM, we use Lab Stats, and we use Active Directory. And we also have a physical inventory that we do every summer. So
the whole issue
our
is-
computers are inventoried. You asked the location.
Right.
And what I replied to Dr. Kroll was, unless we go out and do a physical inventory, we're not going to find those locations. We don't generally schedule that physical inventory until the summer starts. We have summer help because we bring in extra summer student help to do. I don't have the staff to deploy 783 computers. So we bring in summer help to do that. So that's the reason I told Dr. Kroll that it would take extra work at this point to do that. Now, my team generally takes the initiative. I give my team autonomy to do their work, and they took the initiative to just knock this out because the request was made. I didn't instruct them to do it. I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm glad they did it. I'm proud of them. They take the initiative and get this work done. There was obviously, if it took 27 hours of 5 of their time, 5 of my employees' time, there's you guys talk about costs. There's costs associated with that. There's also opportunity loss because they shifted their other responsibilities and other tasks to make this
and
happen.
I understand
At the
what
beginning of the summer, or at the end of the summer, we'll do another full inventory. Every time that we send computers to the recycler, we sell the computers to the recycler, we get the receipt from that, what they bought. And we know what we've put in the bins to be disposed of. We know what they paid us for. And so that's fine. That information can be provided at the end of the project as well.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great. And I did not intend for you to do this. When I got the email, I'm just like, what else can we do, or how else can I do it? And that's when I thought of just getting a receipt of what you delivered. And
I appreciate that, but my team jumps out and gets work done. So they got it done.
I got some good hustles.
Yeah.
They did.
Were this, Mr. Chair, were this
Yes.
being an additional item when, as a board, when we have a request like that, just say, hey, wait a minute. We want to spend that much time before, in the future, before it's done.
Yeah, I agree.
Just make sure there's consensus.
And I have asked, I kind of challenged my vice presidents and the folks that are in the room that when we get information requests in the meeting or sometimes they come, through email, but especially when we get them in the meetings, to make sure that we clarify what's being asked for and that we engage you in that conversation as well, just like you said, Shelby, to let you say, is this something that the entire board wants or feels like it's something that's needed that will require staff time? So I've challenged our folks to engage you more in that conversation too, for clarification and for further explanation. So.
And to clarify, I don't think you could like deny a core request if you're requesting something that's currently exists, but
No.
but for additional requests, it's not
But-
similar to what we just did.
But as a reminder, that with the Cora request, and when the ACCT trainers were here last August, they asked about that and they asked if, trustee requests for information followed our Cora policy that was in place, and we really haven't. And they asked if we charged for Cora requests, and we said yes. And so, they essentially indicated that, other information requests, even if they're not Cora, if they're internal and they take a lot of time, we probably should follow Cora policy. So I think that's something you folks need to talk about when we have the discussion at the work session, because my staff's trying to make sure that they fulfill your requests in the best way we can. But sometimes it's confusing a little bit about how we're supposed to do that, I think.
Forrest.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I just think this is a good example. We've often seen one person asking for something, and I know that I remember hearing you say in the meeting that you did this in the summer. Kind of an attitude that might not be good enough. But anything that's going to cost money like this, I think that the trustees should at least have a majority that wants to see that information. I think it's fine when we ask a question and the vice president or whoever says, oh, I've got that. That happened this evening when Dr. Neville said he would send something. That's one thing. But when we're asking a question, oftentimes they don't even understand why the question's being asked. And then they feel obligated to have to go out and do this information to keep us happy. And I just think we need to have a more formal process if we're going to ask for something that takes 27 hours.
And that's why I didn't want it to be done. It's when I found out from Kim that it was gonna take all that time. I just put it aside, decided, you know what, they'll know when they deliver the new ones, where they went, they'll know what they did with the old ones.
But how are they supposed to know that you didn't want it?
Because Kim pretty much told me I wasn't gonna get it in that email.
No, I
If
told
read
you
the
that it would be
emails-
summer. I told you it would be summer.
Yeah, so,
Before it was
I mean-
available, but I didn't get a response from you to say, then let's not worry about it for now, So, So-
I think your email said it'll be discussed by the board tonight, whether we were going to proceed with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
But
it
his
said.
guys.
Yeah, they
they're
just-
hustling.
I mean,
Good job.
to Dr.
Yeah.
Kroll's point, we need, as the VPs, we need to be more purposeful about asking the board, more details on this, knowing to try and figure out exactly what you want, and if as VPs, we need to be better about setting those expectations as well. And had I done that, then we would have waited till the summer. I didn't set those expectations correctly on my side.
Your
Well,
guys
Bill,
do-
thanks for putting it
Thank
together.
you.
And maybe
Thank you
this,
very
maybe.
I think my team, they, like I said, they took the initiative and just went out and grabbed this, but we did pull off of other projects to do it. So
If this turns out to be a learning opportunity for how we can make these information requests flow better, then that's a positive out of this.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you, Bill. I think that's it for our discussion items because we pushed D off. So we're into our action items. The first one being early childhood business admin technical certificate. Dr. Guerrero is our vocal on that. That's page 36 in the board book if we're following along.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm here representing the Department of Early Childhood Education, and we're seeking board approval for the Early Childhood Business Administration Certificate. Approval is required so that this can be considered for the KBOR Cert A designation, which makes this certificate financially eligible for students. The need for this, the purpose of this certificate is to address the shortage of early child care facilities in Butler County and surrounding areas. This credential captures 18 credit hours of courses that are already taught at Butler Community College and will help students become owners and directors of child care facilities. Yes, ma'am.
I believe that Head Start will soon take over all childcare centers. They'll be the only ones who can afford this. Teresa, we know the cost, but I think it would be wonderful if Kansas Head Start would endorse this program. I think it would speak volumes. Because you know what I'm saying, Head Start has to have 2 people in the room. The funds are all feds, but are they going to recognize this course in federal and state Head Starts?
Are you asking if they would, if this would qualify?
Yes,
Our students to go in?
and work.
Yes, but I don't know at what level that they would be ready. Now, with our goal, we should grab a price or.
Oh. Shelby, can you share your mic? Yep, sorry.
So my answer is yes, I do believe it would qualify them to be able to go into those programs and be a part of those programs. But I'm not positive about it being an administration like they have so many different levels.
I know.
in Head Start, and so it's a
Yes.
little different than just a regular childcare center. But like for our degree that they get from us now qualifies them to go in and to be teachers in the classroom.
Mhm,
And I know that Head Start prefers if they would have a bachelor, but
mhm.
it's not altogether realistic for that to always be the case.
They now need to show progress that they're
Right, they
getting
have to have
it.
an education plan.
Mhm,
And I feel like this certificate would be a wonderful piece of that education plan.
mhm.
Because not only does it speak to the core knowledge of early childhood, but it also then address business aspect of the administrative part of that. And
So
so,
Could we seek out Kansas Head Start and Federal Head Start? Have you met the new Kansas Head Start lady?
I have not.
Okay, I will send you that information.
Okay,
She's wonderful, but I think if we could have that recognition, that would sure help,
right,
especially since the legislature has lowered the requirements for
Unfortunate.
childcare in the state of Kansas, which is terrible.
right, I agree.
Hoping it'll get vetoed, but
I do want to say that this would be recognized towards the Kansas Early Childhood Director's credential.
mhm,
And so this
Good.
would help our students achieve that
Good.
with getting the higher education. Whereas before, we didn't have that here at Butler that they could get, and I really feel like it's going to be a bonus to our existing directors, because there's been several that have applied and didn't have that piece, and now if we put this into place, that will help them.
so you will you will search out, I'll get you the information.
Yes,
for
I would like
Kansas Head
to
Start.
check with them and see how we could make that.
And my
happen.
last question is, why are you retiring?
It's time, Mary Martha.
You've done such an excellent job.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. My replacement's wonderful. Kathy will do it.
Good.
She's a graduate of our program.
Great, great.
So
Was the genesis of this, I mean, my understanding is we're teaching all these classes already, so we're not really adding new curriculum, but it's a
Right.
new. Did we have people coming in and saying, I'd
yes,
really like this?
yeah, we have actually our industry partners, our advisory board for our program. They were part of this whole decision. We had talked about the possibility of this because both El Dorado and Andover had those community discussions about we need more programs. We need to, get that going in this area. And we took it to our board at our fall meeting and said, what do you think about this? And they loved it. And one of our people on that board is a business owner for early childhood, and she partnered with us to make sure that we would offer the things that would set those people wishing to do this up in a successful way and not necessarily have to do a full degree, because if they're already working in a center, they want that fast track, and it's one of the ways that we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
With that, I move that the
Well,
hang on.
questions.
So what you're saying, this adds no new classes, no new overheads, no new director, no new anything. It's just gonna take classes we offer currently and add a new certificate.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
No expensive anything.
Giving them the
This is
opportunity.
gonna be a niche market of somebody wanting a daycare administrative business certificate. It's
It'll
gonna
be a
very
good
small
selling
number of
point.
people.
Yes.
Right. I'm just saying it's not
Yeah.
a big. High demand certificate, but if it doesn't add anything to what we're just doing.
It's
No
no
added
really
cost.
just folding some of our existing business courses into this pathway. So
Right,
students
that's
have
just
some of
what I
that
wanted to clarify.
experience and some of that education as they go out and open their businesses.
Did you think about adding CPR, first aid, any of those?
No. Most of the time they already have that because they're working in the facility, they have.
Correct.
And so we can take that requirement away, knowing that they have to get that.
Okay.
So.
My only other thing is Head Start only recognizes, and this is, I don't know why, but Associates of Science. You don't recognize the other one,
Our degree is.
but I mean, the certificate. Mhm.
Right. So I think they would probably allow it though on their.
Oh, yeah.
but I just know that about their education plan,
Mhm.
if they have this down, I will. I will check on that.
Okay, and I'll send you the lady's name. Mhm.
Shelby had another comment.
Just what we clarify what we just went through with this thing, Julie just asked her to do some work to get some information without board consensus. So do we want to,
It's a phone call.
I understand,
Mary Martha.
but I don't,
I'm-
I'm sorry. But I just want to make sure that we aren't just asking individuals to do work on our behalf without board consensus. Is that proper to ask for that?
If we do that, we're gonna do it every single time then.
Well, that's just what we said. I
Well,
mean,
I'm
I-
not doing a quorum request.
No, this isn't a query. You're just asking for her to do some work and investigate something,
No, Mary Martha is providing the information.
but she still has to do the legwork. I'm just
She has to
asking
do
for
the-
clarification.
Call and just see if she'll endorse it.
Okay, does the board think that we should ask her to do that? And then we're consistent.
Okay.
If it
Let's
seems like
hear
you're the Head Start lady, I think you know what you're talking about. I'm out of that loop. I think that's a good idea. But at least she has a majority of board consensus that we would like. And I'm not even sure if we should be asking individuals to do. Instead of send it down and chain of command to do it. Possibly, it might be more proper. I'm not trying to cause trouble, but maybe we could pass it on to Dr. Cole and filter it on that way. So we're not skipping the chain of command.
Dr. Kroll and Teresa
Yeah.
we can
I'm
walk
not
through
trying to
this.
cause trouble, just
Well, I-
Julie, did you have a
clarify.
comment or
Yeah, I
question?
have a question. I was looking at early childhood. For other community colleges in the area, and is there anything about our program that sets us apart? Because there's a lot of these programs and they are AS.
Well.
I think I looked at Cali, I think Cali has one, Hutchinson has one, Cloud has one.
Well, not to disagree, but Cloud actually doesn't have an early childhood program anymore.
Not anymore.
Cali has one, and Hutch does not have an AAS degree. They can only get a concentration in early childhood. So we are actually one of the few that has a full AAS program. And it does, but also our faculty that teaches, I am the full-time instructor, but the adjuncts that we hire, we purposely hire people who are currently working in the early childhood field. So they are living the life of the early childhood professional. And that's a huge draw for our students to be taught by someone who's actually doing the work in the field, who knows what it's like to live, their business life every day. It's a selling point. They're adjuncts. They have the qualifications. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And who is the farm down in Arc City? Who's the packing company. They're investing
Creekstone.
$3.5 million.
They're building their
Creekstone
own
is
childcare.
investing $3.5 million in an early childhood center for just their employees.
Am I right that there's one going on Sixth Street, rest home and a daycare center?
I'm not positive about that.
Have you
I
heard
haven't-
about it?
I've heard about it, but I'm not,
It's
it's
gonna be
more
small.
rumor. What I've heard is that, so
Uh-huh.
I don't know to
Yeah.
say that yes, so.
Any other questions, discussion?
Hey, I
Teresa,
moved that,
Thank you.
I move that the board approve to recognize the Early Childhood Business Administration Certificate as a technical certificate program.
I would second.
Call that vote.
Good.
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes,
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
great. That passes 7-0. Moving on, the next action item would be the follow-up from what we discussed last month about the laptop replacement plan for this coming year. That is on page 51 of the board book. We had quite a bit of discussion on that before. Unless we feel like we need more, we could entertain that motion and move forward.
I would move to recommend the purchase of 783 Dell laptops for a total not to exceed $494,474.
And I'll second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
That
Thank
passes-
you, everyone.
That passes 7-0.
Thank you.
And this is a good example of using one meeting to get our discussion out and then knocking through the action item at the next meeting. So,
And if we have questions, we can email between.
so thanks, Bill, for you and your crew having the information for us last month. Okay, we've got a couple additional action items that we added. The first is approval of the minutes from the last board meeting. And Shelby, you had an edit.
I just had one edit on. Got it marked. Bottom of page 77, the last. I guess the last full sentence says trustee Smith moved to amend the motion, drop in-county rates to 100. In-state to 130 and out-of-state to 190. It should be dropped. In-county to 100, raise in-state and raise out-of-state. I just asked to be clarified.
Raise in-state and
Well,
out-of-state.
Yeah, because we.
I mean, is
voted
that right?
To raise it, but the way it's written, it's most. I made a motion to drop the
Makes it sound like
in-county,
all of them are
in-state.
dropped.
and
Yeah.
it's-
That's fine.
it's Just, I would just like that clarification there.
Yep, that's good to do that.
So if somebody's looking later, it'd be like, oh, that's not what I remember.
We have a motion to approve that amendment.
I so move.
Second,
I'd second. I think Julie said she
Are you-
had something in the.
I do.
Was that?
I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
waiting for this to get over with.
oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. If we're not ready to approve it yet. What?
Well, the other thing that if you look on page 78, it sounds like trustee Winslow wants Butler County tuition to be free. I'm sure we can reword that to
Where
where
is the,
trustee Winslow would like Butler County students' tuition to be free.
well, you
Or is
you
that-
stated that.
That's what I stated. I did not say, it implies that all tuition be free.
So you just want to say Butler
This is
County,
Butler County tuition.
Butler County students, residents? make Butler
Yes.
County residents tuition. That's your clarification.
Resident tuition to be free.
That's
And that's the one word thing that makes a lot of difference.
I think that's inferred from what's here, but I have no challenge to adding it for clarity. Do we have a motion then to amend as
I will.
Shelby and Julie's amendments?
And
Yeah,
then
I'll
you
make
approve
it.
this. Can you do it all at once?
Yeah, I think we could have.
I'll rescind my motion if he'll rescind his second.
Sure.
And then I'll just make a new motion to state that we're raising in-state tuition and out-of-state. To put the word raise in on the out-of-state and in-state tuition. And then to add the word resident to Butler County resident tuition to be free.
And then would we then approve the agenda with those amendments?
Approve
You
the
mean
minutes.
approve the-
I'm sorry,
minutes.
approve the minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Approve the minutes and then approve the amendments with this, with these additions.
I'll second.
everybody understand, I may have.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
got,
I did not add clarity with my comments.
yeah, that,
Stuck on the agenda.
So,
We
yeah,
had changes and now we're gonna approve the minutes.
yeah, kind of
I was
lumped
trying
everything
to
together.
clarify the
You
clarify.
did a good job.
Ready for the vote?
Yes, please.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
yes.
The
What was the
elected-
other?
It was C2 and C3. I was just,
Yeah, that'd be the next action item is the agreement with the CE shop, which is page 91 of the board book.
Yeah, those are again through beta.
Mhm.
And they're just simply, it's a third party provider that provides those classes. We're kind of just a pass through for them.
right,
We help with the enrollment. We get a cost share from the students that enroll, but we're not teaching any of the classes.
right.
We
What's
just
our,
provide that, opportunity for folks to enroll if they want to take those classes through
Well-
that third party provider.
I looked it up online. Do we have a cost for somebody to administer this program
Well-
through Butler? It says, I'm not sure who John Kressler is.
Well, he's in beta. He's part of beta. The
Is beta only a
administration.
pass through?
In these situations, yeah. They
Does it
just
do
help.
other stuff besides this?
Well, yeah, they're on the business and industry side. They do apprenticeships, they do help with internships, they engage business and industry for partnerships and stuff like that. So they have a whole lot of other things that they do, but
So do they have to put this on the website? Is that how it works? This will
I
have to be
think it
loaded
gets-
by IT to the website.
I think it gets included in the comprehensive online catalog that Beta puts together that shows all of those options that can be taken through third party providers.
The only other comment that I have that I hate for anything to distract a potential student and send them off on a tangent to buy another program instead of enrolling into class. That's all I have to say.
But these are things that we don't offer.
Well, I understand that, but what if the money was tight and they could only enroll in one thing, and there goes our money to that other razor class nonsense? Or a real estate class instead of another class?
I mean, I think it's pretty much student choice and they're gonna look
Oh, I
for the
understand that. They
training
don't have to get it
opportunities.
from us.
These are things that we don't even offer. And so what we're doing potentially is providing that opportunity for them to get some additional licensing. Shelley, I think a lot of the SHRM, the HR SHRM things that you guys get are offered through third party, through online kinds of things, correct? Yeah, I mean, this is an option that a lot of people utilize to get recertified or to do
A
continuing
lot of
ed.
times, some stuff through Holly Frontier come through this Holly Frontier Sinclair.
They're not.
Right, to me, it seems like more of just, we're providing a link where they
Yeah.
link through us, but like this one course was only like $120.
But we get some
So
money.
we're gonna get
for doing
20
that.
bucks out of it.
We
I just want to make sure we don't have a,
And
Well,
do we
but-
have other programs that are giving us money, and do we have any idea what? the
You guys have
revenue is?
approved, you've approved these.
Well,
We've approved it.
Oh, one at a time, right? Talking on each other.
I'm just wondering how much it really amounts to.
It's gotta-
Yes, Brenda, go ahead.
Okay, it's very important that we have beta as a part of our college, and it's invaluable to us for employers. A new employer comes to town, they need 120 welders. They hire them. If they don't all meet the criteria they need, we've been able to see beta specialized classes. There's different materials they work on. I had one of my recruitments that beta put together 3 pages of training request that they could provide for this particular company. The company chose Hutch and came back and asked Beta, would you still provide this for our company? So it's Beta is a critical part of what we're doing, and I think it's great. And I think that they should understand that we really appreciate them.
So is there any discount for trustees to use CE shop?
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
it's a third party provider, not a Butler class. I don't know that your free tuition applies
Yeah.
to it, but
Worth a shot.
sorry.
It was worth.
Thank you, Linda, for clarifying.
Yes.
So then,
So,
can we put this in?
Oh, I just moved to approve both of these as written.
I'll second.
go ahead and vote on that.
1 second, sorry. Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 7-0. Moving on, then, we would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it was amended.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as amended.
I'd second.
Ready?
Yes.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
That also passes 7-0. Moving on to our,
Personnel.
no,
That was
personnel was part of the,
consent, yeah.
that was part of the consent agenda. Yep, supplemental information, our key performance indicator update.
I don't think there's any updates this time around. No changes.
Okay.
The calendar, just real quickly, again, the big deal is Monday with the site team, and we'll send a calendar invite for that. We have PTK induction on Sunday afternoon at 2. In Student Union
Excuse
on campus, yes. Just kind of has gotten finalized. I don't know if anybody is available to go, or if any of you are available to do a quick welcome for that. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you very much. Never mind, never mind. Lots of ball games going on, but also I want to call your attention to Thursday, April 20th and Friday, April 21st, the theater and then Saturday, theater and music department are doing working the musical. So please, if you want tickets to that for one of those, please let me know. They will be sold out. And so email me and Jennifer can get some stuff reserved for you if you would like to go to any of those performances.
A friend who sent us into that.
It's not on Sunday.
Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay.
And the art show, the
And
big one, I'm sorry,
Yes.
is that the April 16th?
Um,
My daughter and her team's making this big
yes,
giant.
yeah. It's the open student art show. I think.
She didn't
that's
know
the-
when it was open, so that.
I think, yes.
Okay, tell me again.
That might be when they do their awards, possibly Shelby too. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll find out and let you
Okay.
know. Okay.
Tell me what Mary Martha was gonna go to again.
She's gonna go to the Phi Theta Kappa induction. The Scholastic Honorary.
In Dodge, right?
No, it's here at the Student Union in the Student Union on Sunday.
Unless we have other questions on the calendar, would entertain a motion to go into our added exec session.
I would second after a small break.
Okay, well, why don't we just take a quick break and
Wait a
well,
minute.
let's go ahead. Let,
Since you have kind of the paperwork, will you move it?
oh, I'm
Sorry, folks.
Good.
One
no,
other
no, we
thing.
did. We added it to the consent agenda that was approved as part of. it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The
we did.
NRP.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What I would suggest is let's go ahead and move into exec session and let the technological process go on. We'll just take a short break
Yep,
as we're
yep.
going in.
Mr. Chair, this is probably gonna be messed up the way we're doing it. I move that the board recess into executive session pursuant to the open meeting exceptions for matters of non-elected personnel, which if discussed in open meeting might violate the right to privacy. And that the members of the board minus trustee Winslow be included for 15 minutes. And then Mrs. Winslow and Dr. Kroll to return for another 15 minutes. The open meeting will resume in the Dankert Board Room within 30 minutes. Somebody wants to
We have a
second
second.
that.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow.
Are you abstaining again then?
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 6-0 with one abstention.
Yes. Yes.
session.
Oh.
Okay, we are out of exec session, back into open session. We went in at 5:07. We're coming out at 7:07. Excuse me. We went in at 6:40, coming out at 7:07. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Chairman, I move that we adjourn for the night.
And I'll second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes,
Trustee Winslow.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
at 7:00. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Work session, on the
No work-
24th, the
uh,
last
yeah.
Monday of the month.
And then
Yep.
this next Monday,
Yeah.
HLC.